Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, sunshiny San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope you guys are excited for this wonderful Monday. I love Mondays, y'all. I got to tell you, I just love them. So I'd like to have a conversation with you this morning that is along the lines of pain. Okay, today we're going to talk about pain. Because the reason most of the bars in the world are full every night, and the reason most people, if they were to save their bottles of wine all year long and then stack them up outside, they would probably want to put a bag over their head and be scared to death when they see, oh my gosh, I literally have drank 16 vineyards. The reason why we see people anesthetizing themselves on a regular basis, whether it be through distractions or perversions or anything that anesthetizes the senses from the gnawing pain, it's prolific because people think that pain is not supposed to be part of the process. And the truth of the matter is, pain is part of the process. You get to pick your pain is the good news I'm going to bring to you today. So, Steve, what exactly do you mean pain is part of the process? A great business philosopher by the name of Jim Rohn says it a little bit differently. He says, you're going to suffer. Suffering is just part of the deal. He said, you will either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. He goes on to say the pain of discipline weighs ounces, the pain of regret weighs tons. But either way, there's going to be suffering. And so this ties into the conversation this morning about pain being a part of the process. Now, for many of you out there, you do know if you follow my videos that I have a very nerdy, and yet I'm proud of it, hobby, and it's called etymology. The study of words, not entomology, insects. I don't really, insects don't do anything. But etymology, the study of words, because I believe that words are what create the world we live in, because we describe the world we live in through the words that we use. And so I want to talk to you about the word passion. Now, many of you, when I say passion, have an image in your mind. This is the other power of words and the way the human brain works. When you hear a word, you see, feel, and think different things than I see, feel, and think when I hear the same word. So one of the keys of powerful and effective communication is clarifying for those you're speaking with the ideas and imagery and thoughts that come along with the words that you utilize. So let's use the word passion, and I want you to understand something that you may not realize. If you were to break down through a word study the word passion, it literally means suffering for something or someone that you love. I bet you didn't know that. Suffering is what passion comes from. The root word is suffering for something that you love. So when you see someone who is passionate, let's say it was Kobe Bryant. He was passionate. He was suffering. By the way, to run back and forth at full speed, step on people's ankles, fall on the ground, and get pushed around and elbowed, by the way, doesn't feel like sitting on your couch eating a cupcake. It's hard. There's suffering connected to it. But because he loved the game and he loved the competition, he had passion. He was willing to suffer for what he did. And so either way, you're going to pay. You get to pick the pain. Pain is part of the process. Pain is part of the equation. And here's what I would like to bring to light for you today. You are suffering pain one way or another. You are either suffering the pain by choosing passionately what you believe is your calling, your highest use and purpose, your destiny, if you will, your choice to live life the way that you choose to live, and you're passionately pursuing it, or you are suffering the slow drip pain by 1,000 cuts, bleeding out by 1,000 cuts, of stacking one day in front of the other, doing something that robs your soul of the joy of life, and you are suffering a pain that does not come from passion. It is a pain that comes from fear. The fear of, if I go do this, then I'll lose that. If I do this and I fail, what will they say? If I go for that and it doesn't work, what will happen to me? If I take that risk, here's the bad things that could happen. And the focus is to primarily think about what could go wrong instead of surrounding yourself with a peer group that could have conversations with you about, what could happen if this thing goes right? What could happen if this thing goes right? Now, most of my tribe are entrepreneurs or business owners, so you will vibe with the energy of my conversation, because you are a risk-taking person who walks in more faith than fear most of the time, and who has a level of trust, believing hopefully in God, and certainly believing in yourself and your ability to be resourceful. So when we think about pain is not going to be avoided. You see, the pain of a guy who hates what he does is the pain that drives him to the bar to anesthetize that pain every night, or drives him to the 12-pack he picks up on the way home from work, or drives him to that place where he can get locked behind a TV and zone out and numb the pain of that slow drip death as his soul lies quenched, because he traded adventure for security and traded risk for what he believes is certainty that we all know is uncertainty. Just ask anybody who's worked for a Fortune 500 company when they said, sorry, Chuck, here's your pink slip. You're gone. We're cutting people out. There's no security in that, ladies and gentlemen. Just an illusion of that. There's a suffering that comes from that demands anesthetization if someone's not going to lose their mind, and that's a very sad reality. Then there's the pain that you see maybe an entrepreneur or a risk taker or somebody who has stepped into a risky, adventurous life, who pours themselves out in a worthy venture or ideal, and passion. Remember, passion means suffering for something or someone that you love, suffering for. That there is a passion that drives this man or woman to take the gifts and talents they have received from God and to honor the giver of the gift by maximizing those talents in service to other people, who comes home at night in pain, exhausted physically, mentally, and emotionally, yet it is a pain from passion that causes that person to be at peace and not require anesthetization or the numbing factor, if you will. Yes, occasionally numb, for fun. Maybe they'll have a drink here and there. Maybe they'll zone out on Facebook for an hour here and there. Maybe so, just for fun, not because they're covering the gnawing pain of shrinking back into mediocrity and a false sense of security, rather than the exhaustion pain that comes from pursuing passionately your purpose with power. Now you see, either way you're going to pay. Either way, pain is going to be part of the process. My friend, you must accept the pain. Hey, I'm driving so slow I can see you. Oscar, what's up, my brother from another mother? Ain't God good? Somebody asked me this morning, Oscar, how you doing? And I said, here's how I'm doing. I'm blessed and highly favored of the Lord, empowered to prosper, destined for success. I expect to win and defeat the enemy through obedience to the word of God, because I'm blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when I come, blessed when I go, above only and not beneath, the head and not the tail. I said, that's how I'm doing. How you doing? That, my friend, is called a positive confession of faith. That is why you can't hurt me. I'm harder on me than anybody else could be on me. The harder I am on me, the less hard anybody can be on me. I demand such a high level of standard and excellence from myself that can't nobody touch me. Just like Hammer said last night in the commercial on the Super Bowl. Can't touch this. So what is your confession? Is your confession, this is so hard, I can't do this, the sun's too hot, it's too cold, it's too foggy, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I don't know enough, I know too much, I don't have any friends, I have too many friends, I don't have an education, I have too much of an education. What is your excuse, man? You got to let that thing go. You got to let that thing go and allow there to be a positive confession of your faith, embracing the pain that comes from pursuing your passionate purpose, my friends. If you're not pursuing your purpose with that passion, then you are experiencing the pain of a slow death of your soul as it shrinks back into this fake world of security, but is not secure at all. So my encouragement to you today is you get to pick your pain. You get to pick the pain that demands that it be numbed out and anesthetized so you don't go berserk in this life. Or you pick the pain that is a pain of your passion from passionately pursuing your purpose and intently moving forward in this great adventure called life, my friends. So I leave you with this powerful question, and the question is this: how different would you show up in life today if you truly understood that every second God has given you is non-refundable? How could you show up differently today if you truly understood that every second of your life that God has given you is non-refundable? Something for you to think about. Love y'all. Have a great day.